Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down how I lead those portraits of Fermi that you're seeing on your screen. So without wasting too much time, let's get right into the breakdown. So I lead this portraits with primarily 3 lights. I think this lighting is going to be my go-to setup. It's going to be one of my go-to setups for having soft portraits looks, and I'm just going to be breaking them down for you. So primarily I use 3 major lights. I had one in a soft box and I had one in a very large umbrella, and my third light was serving as a light. You're going to be seeing in the image that I'm going to be attaching how I place those lights. So I had the lights in my modifiers. That's my soft box and the large umbrella. I had them at the same power, and they were just kind of open to light from top to bottom. And so the first one on the stand was placed higher to kind of light the upper part and angled downwards at about 45 degrees, and that was just lighting the face and giving this sort of like Rembrandt look. And then I had very large umbrella. I was just giving a very soft look to kind of fill in the lower parts of a body and not let that one fall into shadow. And that was like the first two that I started with. And then I added the air lights because I was seeing like she was kind of blending in with the background. She was wearing black, and the background was a little bit dark, so I had the air lights added to it. It was placed on a C-stand, and I had a cone with a grid on it to kind of prevent the lights, not kind of to prevent the light from spilling onto the background. And I just kind of focused it on the subject, so that was giving some sort of separation on the air and also over her shoulders, but it didn't spill everywhere because of the grid that I had attached to it. That just came as an afterthought because she was blending into the background. And then on the other side I also had like foam boards. I had foam boards there in this kind of shape placed directly in front of her and a little distance away from her, because I didn't want her falling into the shadows, but I didn't want the light bouncing so much and lifting up the shadow and then the image looking flat, because I wanted some sort of contrast in the image. And that was why I placed it a little bit so it was bouncing just enough light but not too much to also kind of overpower and make the image look flat. Now the lights were placed a little bit of distance away from the subject, but not too far, because I wanted the fall off to also be gradual and not instant. So I placed it a little bit further away from her and eye and in front of her, so there was kind of a little bit of distance between the subject and the light. And that was also doing something else that was preventing excess lights from falling onto the background. There was a little bit of fall off on the background, but it was not too much. That is how I lead those portraits of Fermi. If you happen to have any questions, you can ask me in the comments below and I'll gladly answer you. So yeah, I don't think there's any more to add. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.